Hello, everybody. Good morning, and how are you? How's your week going? There's a scripture I came across, and it is intriguing. The scripture talks about posterity, and the scripture is 2 Samuel chapter 21, verse 1 to 5 thereabout. So there was a time in King Saul's life. He was basking in the euphoria of being a king. He was caught up with all the glamour that being a king comes with. And he forget an important part of his life. And that's what we are talking about today. And the important part that King Saul forgot is what is called posterity placement. Posterity placement. So what is posterity placement? Posterity placement is thinking about what happens to your future generation while you are yet around on earth. So this is you living your life to create an event that is palatable to your future generation. So 2 Samuel 21 verse 1 says, during the reign of David, there was a famine for 3 successive years. So David sought the face of the Lord. The Lord said, it is on account of Saul and his blood-stained house. It is because he put the Gibeonites to death. So there was famine in the land. And David went to inquire of the Lord. This time, Saul had passed away. He's dead. He's no more in the picture. So, and the Bible is making us to understand that the famine in the land was because of Saul's action. And his action was basically, he put some set of people called the Gibeonites to death. The Gibeonites had a treaty arrangement with the Israelites. So Saul had promised to keep them safe. As a king on behalf of the nation of Israel, he had promised to keep them safe. However, out of zeal, can you imagine that? Out of zeal, Saul annihilated all of them. He erased them. Because of this, there was famine in the land. So now David being the king, because now Saul is long gone. David being the king, he did not choose to offer sacrifice to the Lord. He didn't choose to offer monuments to the Lord. He chose a different approach. Because after he inquired of the Lord and God told him that this is the reason why there is famine, he didn't choose to do all the aforementioned. But instead, he chose reconciliation approach. So he called the Gibeonites that, what do you want? So that you will bless us. Because if it was Saul would just say, come on, let's offer sacrifice to God of our fathers, as it were. But David, different king, different approach. So when he called the Gibeonites, and he explained to them that this and this and this happened, what do you want? So that you will bless us. And the Gibeonites, the request, what they requested for is so intriguing. They didn't request for money. They didn't request for a place in the kingdom. They didn't request for silver and gold. They didn't request for food. None of that matters to them. They are out for blood. They are out for vengeance. And this is very important. You don't know how the person you ought is going to take it. So you don't behave anyhow. So the Gibeonites requested for 7 descendants of Saul that they might annihilate them. They want to erase them as a revenge. They are out for cold blood revenge. And this time David was the king. Saul is no more in the picture. So Saul was not thinking about posterity when he was living a reckless life as a king, not thinking of what happens to his generation down the line. And we see what happened. Now, David had the right to choose. He was left to choose of his own accord 7 descendants of Saul. So he had his own volition. So David could have chosen anybody, but he remembered his covenant. The covenant is shared with Jonathan. So David preserved Mephibosheth because of his covenant with Jonathan. And then in the scripture, we realized the 7 people David released to be annihilated. So the Bible is to make us understand that Saul had 6 sons. So he had Jonathan, Abinadab, Ashbotet, and Mashiswa. I'm not right with the pronunciation. Of course, I'll display the names. Mashiswa or something. And now, these 4 were the sons he had with his first wife. So when the wife was chased away from the kingdom, he had a concubine. And this concubine gave him 2 sons too, Harmony and Mephibosheth. This Mephibosheth is another Mephibosheth different from Jonathan's son. Now, the first 4 sons that he had with his first wife, they all died in battle. They all died in battle. So we know that he has no posterity from his first wife, from his main wife. Let me put it that way, because he had just one wife and a concubine. From his main wife, he had 4 sons, and they all died in battle. Now, his concubine that he had 2 sons with. So David had to select 2 of them, the 2, Harmony and Mephibosheth, the 2 of them. Then 5 sons of Merab, that's his first daughter. 5 sons, 5 old sons of Merab. So he selected 7 sons, Harmony, Mephibosheth, and 5 sons of Merab. So he had to deliver them to the hand of the Gibeonites, that they may be food in the land. So what is the lesson of this story? The lesson is, number 1, nothing lasts forever. That you are in the position you have today is by the grace of God. You need to think about your generation down the line. Don't behave as if you are going to be there forever. No governor lasts forever. No president lasts forever. Even kings die. And there's a popular adage that says, soldier goes, soldier come, barrack remains. So you need to live your life with the mindset that what happens to my generation that comes ahead of me. Number 2, you create your future today. You create your future today, because a time will come. Your children will say, your children will go like, our father, blah, 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 blah. But you are living in the realm of the fatherhood now, here and now. So what happens now determines what happens to your future. And number 3, what will your future generation say about you? Will they curse you and say, cursed be our fathers, cursed be our ancestors? Or they say, blessed be our fathers, blessed be our ancestors? I beseech you by the mercies of God, live your today with the hope that tomorrow is almost now. Live your today with the hope that my generation unborn will bless my today. God bless you. See you next time.